Hello and welcome to another coaching video, and in this one we have a Platinum Jarvan versus a Platinum SEJUANI. Now, the thing is about playing tanks in this elo is you're going to start to get players that will become the win condition. Now, if you can't identify which one that is, that's going to be a problem. Obviously, you can be the carry and the win condition, but when you're playing a tank or something like even a Jarvan, you're not always going to be sort of the obvious one, you know what I mean? You're going to be amplifying your team, you're going to be supporting your team, engaging, disengaging, healing, and all the good stuff that no one recognizes as highly skillful. And it is highly skillful. However, most Platinum players will not use these champions correctly, get themselves fed appropriately, deny the enemy jungler thusly, and of course, in turn, you coin flip your existence. And don't forget, my jungle improvement PDF is still free and will always be free on my website, Virkayu.gg. You can just download that by entering your email, of course. And we have the silver course out and the gold course out. Diamond course will follow, the platinum course will follow, along with the bronze course next Friday. So get all of your jungle courses from Virkayu.gg, everything you need to know to climb through your elo and your MMR, as well as our one-on-one coaching and our coaching VOD library. Virkayu.gg is a jungler's paradise. Up and down, up and down, up and down. We win a bit, we lose a bit, we win a bit, we lose a bit. It's very common for people to finally get to platinum and then go ahead and plateau because they don't give themselves that opportunity like the Jarvan is trying to do here. We have the cleanse, and Q, we're gonna go in, Rakan's gonna do some disengaging. We're tanking a lot of stuff. And goes back in with that Q again. But you know, this meta has shifted. We're no longer in a blue grump ganking bottom lane meta. We're no longer in a level 3 blue side quadrant ganking meta. The whole concept of experience and gold amounts going up means we need to be able to do things a little bit differently, although we should see a Jarvan gank here, like this is free now. Now, the SEJUANI isn't extrapolating. Platinum junglers, as I just said, don't give themselves the opportunity to carry. You have to see the Jarvan go blue grump gank bottom lane. You're like, can I rotate to this? Can I do something about this? Now Jarvan goes back into the river. Look at the mid lane. We have a TP back from the Mel fight. He has died. Tryndamere has won, but Tryndamere hasn't gold reset. Where is the Jarvan going? I think logically we can all see extrapolation. But the Platinum jungler, while they're definitely better mechanically and they don't waste as much time as, say, gold, silver, and below, what they still don't do very well is adapt to information on the map and cut their clear short to react to what is possible. Now, I did release the bronze course, and I basically was like, okay, look at this guy full clearing. He doesn't adapt to this sort of low HP target here. The SEJUANI here is doing the same thing. Like, why would you not adapt to try and do something about this? I know the Rakan is there, but the whole point is, look how low we're getting because of our clear. It's not optimal. Where's the Jarvan going? He doesn't even think about going mid lane here. So these are gigantic missed opportunities. Now, you're going to say, well, you know, what if you couldn't actually gank them? What if you couldn't actually do certain things? What if? But the issue is, it's the intent as we slow down here. Look at this. She's coming to half HP, skipped her Krugs. We know that Mumu still has flash because he didn't put in the initial ganks, so he will be able to disengage that. The Samir is the one without summoner spells. Rakan goes in. Now the misfortune's like, must kill ADC, must kill ADC. Success. It's ridiculous. And in the meantime, the Jarvan's like, yep, got a full clear, baby, got a farm. Like, if you're going to gank now as Jarvan, you can easily full clear. I'm covering that in a main channel video as well this weekend. You can full clear down, look to gank, give up a crab, do a crab, whatever, doesn't matter. And then you just quadrant clear and gank around that. It's pretty straightforward. But this is going to be something we really talk about in the Platinum course, which is going to be coming out within, I think, 2 weeks from this video. I really want to showcase Platinum junglers. Listen, your baseline game planning is okay. Your clearing is okay. Your decision making is the biggest issue. And we need to fix it by looking for triggers that allow you to adapt to make the right decision every single game. I mean, this is pretty much a straightforward scenario. You're looking at this going, how could we have avoided this? Well, everything we've just discussed could have helped us avoid this, but we knew Jarvan did boom, boom, boom. Didn't show up mid lane. So 99% dude's going to keep full sequencing. It also means the crab's up. So we do gank this and get some sort of freebies here for ADC. We get no assist. You've got to understand that full clearing junglers or junglers who do stuff and then go back into clearing, you're gonna coalesce right here in the mid lane. Did I zoom out with my stuff? I don't think I zoomed out enough. Let me see, what are we at here? 46? I wanna go back to 52 because the zoom out here is better for coaching. So, it's weird how you feel claustrophobic when you, I feel fine in game when you play normal zoom, but then you go into replays, it's like, I wanna zoom out, I wanna see everything. I'm so used to it. So now we've got a Zed obviously against the Mordekaiser here. Like, why are we doing Grump first? When it's a 4-minute 52 timer, we know these guys are going to be approaching a level 6 spike because at this point they have not based, right? So they're just sitting in the lane here, not killing each other, which means they're primed for the juicy early level 6. I kind of want to help my Mord get that first, so that if we can kill the Zed, before Zed hits 6. Zed's not going to go back to base, no TP. We get our Mord level 6 who can go back to base and do something about this. Maybe the Mord can then use his ult on the Zed before Zed has his ult. So that's a kill from the gank, kill from the level 6, and now of course we can gank it again and counter gank when Zed wants to use his 6. Doesn't always work out that way, but the idea is, can I get a kill here, pre-6 on this guy so that my laner has 6, so that he can try and use that. Now, the problem with this is all decision making, right? I'm a full clear down. Oh, I didn't adapt to this. Could you have killed people here? Yes. Could you have stopped their base? Yes. Could you have, I mean, most junglers at this point, like if you're Lee Sin coming down and you've got an Amuma Samira like quarter HP, I hope you're going to kill them. Like you should be able to do that. Same thing with Jarvan, same thing with any sort of potent early game Fister. And the Jarvan, you're trying the level 2 and then does nothing else afterwards to continue that pressure while the SEJUANI's farming. So adapting your early clears dynamically according with what's going on in the game, laner-wise and jungle-wise. Oh, look, a cut. A cut. We have a cut. We're doing a quadrant into a cut, but then we don't do anything. Why didn't we just cut here and go for the gank pre-6? Kill him pre-6. He's going to zone the Tryndamere. He's going to zone him. Oh, the zoning is going on here. We have here the Rakan fighting the Jarvan in the river while we're doing our Raptors because we feel the need to farm because we're down an experience level here. Tryndamere's just desperately trying to get level 6 so he knows when the Malphite ults him, he can press the magic button. Now Jarvan's extrapolating, knows there's stuff going on here. He's like, can I dive this? He's going into the jungle here. They're using the bottom lane prior to move in. This SEJUANI has given up her entire game plan because she's so focused looking at the ground. Look at this. This is not necessarily like what we classify as the best use of time from anybody, but the point is, I know people in coaching for Platinum specifically, I coach a lot of Platinum as well, where it's like, what am I meant to do here? It's like, well, it's not, you give it up and you go opposite side. Like you counter gank it and stop the dive if possible, which is of course what we're going to do, but Malphite could rotate down. Ah, there we go, good. I wouldn't expect him to, but it wouldn't surprise me if he does, right? So it's kind of something you got to look for and anticipate. And obviously, once we see the base here, like, whew, that's a good one. Now the Jarvan could just fall back into the dragon, honestly. Like he could just go and do the dragon, but the problem is his mid laner is not here, has no TP. Tryndamere will have prio. That makes it risky. So he already just says, oh, he is actually on it. Oh, goodness gracious. I thought in all his wisdom, he would have recognized these things and just gone back to his blue side for his own 6. But I'm glad the blue side team did think about this, other than the one person who should have, the Youngler. And now we go to the bottom side with 0 camps. We're just going to go and coin flip a fight. You're like, hey, I need the dragon. Go opposite scuttle, do some raptors, do some krugs, gank the top lane. Because in our universe, we've already done that. And, by the way, the Mordekaiser has killed the Zed already by himself. So imagine if we could actually help him there. So what you're seeing here is a Jarvan looking at a 1-0-2 decent beginning, but still could have done more, right? Especially if you're going to go the early ganking routes. Like, he could have easily translated that into a mid lane pressure gank, cross over into top side, done this whole thing and ganked this afterwards. SEJUANI shows up down here, wastes time. Maybe I can steal your 4-minute 19 Gromp. You know what I mean? Counter jungling is huge again, so you've got to think like this, big time. And here we're like, well, let's go for the Hextech Dragon. Well, you know, sure, but, you know, Samira's ahead, and my ADC has a cull. So I will just, you know, outside in, we'll take this one, then I'll snack this, snack this, snack this, take this, fall back to this, reset. Maybe now I can gank this or gank this and use a Herald to offset some of the cash monies that the Jarvan has given her. So in Platinum, I expect you all to see this kind of stuff, but a lot of the issue isn't that, hey, I don't see it, it's just the inaction. It's just the inaction, and then basically like, hey, I see it, so you should see it, so you shouldn't die to it. I mean, you're not playing against marshmallows. You know, they're allowed to press their buttons. They're allowed to go in here. The Rukan's just straight up going to die. We're taking a fight 2v2 jungle versus jungle, support versus support. Who wins? Obviously, the OP Jarvan's going to win. Now, the Malphite's going to rotate over here. We're in a 2v3 advantage. Can he kill? He's going to flash. He gets the order, which is juicy. Jarvan's going to hit the EQ, except we flash respect. Well, respect flash that one, which is good. And now the Tryndamere is going to try and create some distance and space. Jarvan says, you know what? I'm going to help you push this out here, and then I'm going to go down and steal your red, but he telegraphs that, but does it matter when we can do nothing about it? The overcommit from the Malphite puts himself in a bit of a precarious situation. Rukan's gonna go in here, miss his spells. Jarvan's now getting stunned by the SEJUANI, who gets smacked by the E. You know, it's better mechanics than some things in Silver, but, guys, that's very Silver-esque. These Silver tendencies, get rid of them, please. We need to lose them. We need to think more dynamically about the game. You want Diamond. You want Diamond, right? This is the kind of shit you gotta stop doing. You gotta start thinking, you gotta start thinking in terms of denial of enemy jungler and how to cut my pathing in a dynamic way, in an interesting way, in a reactive way that's intelligent. Any elo beneath you, this would be normal, and we give them frameworks, like ganking frameworks and farming frameworks, because they're expected to be able to, what on earth is going on? what is this nonsense, man? I'm losing my mind. Oh my goodness, if it if it wasn't the birthday of me turning 1,000 years old, this would send me over the edge. Although that actually makes no sense. I'm officially over the edge. Okay, let's start that again. Right, no way we're going bottom lane again here. No way we're going bottom lane again. So the reason we give frameworks for ganking and farming on your typical low elo, mid elo junglers is because the adapting is the difficult part. The read and react is the difficult part. The challenge jungler is the best at that. And, once you're in Diamond, you expect it to be able to do certain things like that. Like, hey, guided 8 CS here, maybe I can counter jungle now. Well, you can, because it's a new meta, it's a new shift. But I would prefer to kind of sequence down and cut and help the bottom lane. But you take too long, you get too low, now you're too late. The JARVAN doesn't translate. So now the JARVAN can take something here, we lose a 2v2. You've got to learn how to say, let him have, I will take. Because what I'm taking is more than what I'm letting him have. And that's the master of puppet jungling. And this begins in Platinum. It begins in Platinum. It doesn't matter who you're playing. You can Flame Horizon or JARVAN or anyone else in Platinum with SEJUANI. 100%. 100% you can do it. Most people who's ever smurfed in Platinum with SEJUANI's probably done it. Because she farms pretty well. We get the early Barmy Cinder. I hate this. I just take Barmies. You know why? Because HP is obviously super, super juicy. But most importantly, it allows me to quadrant clear, cut into ganks all the time. I can do this, quickly contest. Hey, JARVAN's bot lane, I can counter jungle, loop back around, quickly take this, fall back to this. It enables me to take more cams within the same time period while still giving me the HP scaling I so love on the champion. You see what I'm saying? And that is absolutely huge when it comes to fights later, because obviously now you have the Sunfire, and that's going to do work also. Rakan here is a bit out of position. Samira has a decent lead here. Let's see, 4.6 to 3.2. That's absolute. It's a BF sword gap. We're now giving our passive to the Malphite. We're going to snack the ult over the wall. Rakan goes in and steals a kill. No reason to do that, but that's good. Level 6 gank. But we've left this side of the map up so damn long. JARVAN's like, well, I see that. I'm going to take the Herald. Good. Good. Now, I hope he basically says, I know they're down. I'm going into the blue side. Because he should. You can either go and kill this guy and hold this turret, but then you're like, level 10 mode. Maybe not. Hey, look, everyone's fisting and fighting over here. Maybe I can catch this activated and use the Herald here, and then maybe cut in, take a blue, take a grump, and get out. And maybe gank this when Zed shows up. Possibilities. Lots of possibilities. But if your immediate reaction after this is to go to your Krugs, or just sit in the tower and do nothing, or rotate and die, gotta shift your thinking. Gotta shift your thinking. This is the kind of stuff that makes a Platinum Jungler Diamond when you shift your thinking into high pressure, high denial, high activity, high reactivity as well, right? And look, the Zed's down here, actually. The whole time the Zed's down here, so there you go. Look at this. We're rotating, we're activating, but look, he's dead. He's absolutely dead. So in this situation, you FK, you look at the fight, you're like, okay, my bottom lane's moved to the bottom lane here. Zed is dead, Malphite's going top lane. Do I even need to use the Herald right now? No. Can I just straight up counter jungle and maybe take some stuff away? Yeah, because you can take all of this away, reset, and then go back onto the map and look to do something here, snowballing your bottom lane to get the Hextech Dragon and use your Herald bot side, right? That would be a better play. We know she hasn't been here because she keeps showing up on the bottom side. So, huge missed opportunities. Now we activate the Herald. We're going to get some plates, cheap plates. We're not even shoving the wave to deny a little bit. We're going back into a jungle where there's no Raptor camp, just a Krug camp. Now we're basing because it's like, well, what do we do? There's no Wolf camp either. Ah, Grump camp. Oh, they're on the Dragon. This is the kind of stuff that separates P1, P2, and P3, P4. Straight up this kind of stuff. But if you want Diamond, you're seeing how you have to translate your thinking. In and out, in and out, in and out. You take stuff, like she's going down here, now back into this side. What are we doing? This leeching has been nerfed, which doesn't mean you're not going to do it. It's great, it's fine. Like, why are we just auto pushing a wave when we could have taken a whole quadrant? Whole quadrant, reset, come down here, gone into the gank here right now. We would be here right now if we made that play. SEJUANI hasn't reset for cash money goals. You got 1100. You would have kill conversion ratio with our Herald. Plus plates. Plus snack the Krugs. plus fall back to our blue side as a reward. Go back to base, finish our mythic. SEJUANI's most likely going topside, realizing there's no camp, so I leave the base. I counter gank her top lane and try and shut down the Mordekaiser. I pat myself on my big shoulder pads and go, I am amazing. And then I go and take Krugs and Raptors respawn, and maybe I can gank bottom lane and we can do something there, and then I can go back into their jungle and counter jungle this side. Then thereafter I can dive and kill bottom lane. If nothing, cool, I can fall back and my blue side is up again. Now if you're thinking, wait a second, how do you know this? How do you know all this is going to happen? That's because it's extrapolation of events, the domino effect of what's going to happen on the map. If there's nothing here, she's obviously going to find something to do. Gank this, counter jungle this, or go down to the side. Those are her three options because there's no herald. Also, it's literally what happens in the main channel video. And I put two examples. The framework works very damn well. I use it, many junglers use it. It's pretty straightforward, and it allows you to deny at such an unholy level that ganking junglers and tanking junglers will cry deep into the night. Like the SEJUANI. Or you who have to watch this game. I'm animated because I love it. Once you get into this Platinum Diamond level, it definitely becomes more interesting and more dynamic in terms of how we view the game, right? So you need the ability to process that. And so the Platinum course is effectively going to be, how do I process all of this quickly in-game, but also how do I see it more frequently? How do I see all these opportunities? And we're really going to focus on that. And obviously, you know, in coaching, every player is a different sort of champion and way of playing that does work, that can work. You have your sort of method, your MO, but if you're not reacting to what is, and you're just kind of living your own little life, you're just coin flipping your laners, and the enemy jungler who takes control will be the one who wins. So JARVAN goes back here, Misfortune gets a shutdown on the Zed, who again, like, this is the thing, right, from the SEJUANI's perspective. The Mord wins, and so you're going, cool, look, you won. Yeah, but you don't know this at level 4. I'd rather be the one who controlled and be like, haha, I made that guy. Imagine if you gave him that early gank too, like, this could be a bigger lead. How insane is that? And JARVAN, same thing. He could have just full sequence, gank bottom, full sequence, gank bottom lane, be there for the SEJUANI's gank, do the counter gank, take this, back to base, right? Straight up gank this first. Now you can do a quadrant, gank this. Now you've got this, you can just do the dragon. Again, from the video on the main channel. This is not a new concept. It's just, once more, the meta. It's definitely more difficult than running around full sequencing without thinking, like in Season 11, or running around ganking without thinking, like we've done so far in Season 13. It's definitely more skillful, and that's fine, but it's not that difficult once you know the triggers. So hopefully you're starting to see some of the triggers in this video. I know I'm quite upbeat about it, but it's because I like it. I like it when jungling is more dynamic and interesting. Yes, JARVAN, why should you die? Death is not for you. There you go, finally. Goodness gracious me. God also, thank you. No chem punk bitch sword is what I called it in the main channel video. Please stop buying that. Infernal item. Infuriating. Just go Gore Drinker. There you go. And if you want to rush something else, go Black Cleaver. But Gore Drinker is fine. You can rush it. Look at this. You live for 10,000 years. 10,000 years the guy was alive because of Omnivamp. Huge. Also, it's JARVAN. He's the best jungler in the game right now. So he can get away with a lot of things. Now we're level 8 at 15 minutes almost. So is the JARVAN, which just feels weird because it feels like the JARVAN's done more stuff, but he hasn't because he's been there, but he hasn't done anything with it. The SEJUANI's just been in fights, but again, hasn't really done much, but she has higher KP at the very least. Like, she's been in the fights, good fights, and she sacrificed her own econ. It just feels like because of the way the SEJUANI's played, the JARVAN should be monstrously huge, right? Like, it feels like he should be in total and utter control of this game, and he isn't. Hopefully you feel that way too. And the SEJUANI had this opportunity as well because the JARVAN early made these mistakes and didn't really amplify himself. And like, he did help his bot lane snowball, but SEJUANI missed the opportunity to repeat shut them down and get them some heralds and get them some dragons and have meaningful ganks and meaningful fights rather than whatever it is that they're doing. I don't know. I don't know. And now we have Mordekaiser going up against Malphite. Yeah, that's not good, guys. The Malphite went against the Tryndamere, so he rushed armor, so he's a Frozen Heart, and he's 3 levels down on a Mordekaiser who's AP. So why is he covering this? The Zed is now basically Bing Shilling doing nothing. And is he AFK? Do we have to cut this short? Does he come back? Let's have a look. He does not come back. So what we've learned from this in this very short coaching session, hopefully you enjoy the brevity of it, but effectively, yeah, nothing else happens after this because of the troll from the Z goes AFK. So we can do a nice little report. Someone can submit a ticket and say, look, Enormous Ego has an Enormous Ego, and he rage quit a game and left his team to dry. So you can report that. But from the Jarvan's perspective, this isn't why you lose or you can't climb. Like, this is an aberration. So unfortunately, AFKs and robs us of any sort of mid-game cool stuff, but I think we can all agree that this game looks a little bit one-sided at this point anyway. SEJUANI didn't really do anything, Jarvan didn't really do anything, and the Mordekaiser is going to solo carry the game. The coin flip of top lane is why the Jarvan will lose. End of story. And if we could have impacted that, or if you're SEJUANI, could have impacted that more, and then maybe done something else, and maybe he does an AFK and there's a good old-fashioned comeback, who knows, but basically Fed top laner versus Fed ADC. Hold up. Hold up. Maybe there is something interesting. Stick around. Samira is actually going to try and 4v5 this, but then Trinity is just going to split. So maybe not. So we sprint run it for average watch time. I did want to do a shorter video today anyway, because I did a couple long ones this week and I want to get the main channel video out. But taking this inhib will give you super, so he doesn't take it, which is great. They regroup up here. It looks like they're just going standard stuff. Jarvan's going to try and get as many kills as he can, but they're not going to have the damage. Mid lane Malphite, no actual mid lane damage threat. Samira's the only thing that they have to kill. Yeah, okay, so it looks like they just basically straight up numbers advantages them down. So hopefully you can see from the early game what I'm talking about in terms of getting those advantages and thinking about the game differently. If you're a platinum player, I'd love to work with you. Come get some one-on-one coaching before the course comes out. I do enjoy taking people to Diamond, and if you're a Diamond, I love taking you to Must. Yeah, that's always great. I love anyone reaching their goals, but Platinum players I feel like can really specifically work in one-on-one coaching, just because it's like it's always this unique perspective based upon what you play and what your sort of game plan is. So hopefully you guys enjoyed and learned something. And the next Platinum one will be more substantial. Don't worry, I promise you, I'll make sure that there's no AFKs and trolls. But thank you very much for watching. Do like, share, and comment if you enjoyed and learned something. Head over to Virkayu.gg for your free weekly tips, your jungle improvement PDF, and the tier list. I'll be sending out the free tier list for the new patch on Monday, including a clash section for everybody. So hopefully you guys enjoy that as well. Have a good weekend.